Bryan, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks. Thanks for having me. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
being here. You're one of my favorite bands from ever, and from when I moved to LA. I always remember, man, Melrose, being a kid and just getting to LA, and you guys had spray painted the sidewalks. It
Oh
was just,
yeah.
it was so mean, man. It was just said so much.
Yeah, I used to work on Melrose at Flip of Hollywood.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so that was kind of our stomping grounds. And, we got some stencils out and started doing that sidewalk stencil thing. And then when we got picked up by Capitol, uh, they thought it was a cool thing too. So they kind of incorporated it into our logo in a way. Yeah.
It was so
So
mean. When I got there, I felt like guys like the East Side rock bands like you. I felt like you guys were going to kill us kids when we came out. Like you guys seemed so scary and so dark and so rock. It was just this different form of rock, this East Side form of rock, and it was so intriguing but scary to a kid like me. And as I met all of you, you're like super nice, nicer than actually bands on the other side of town. It's
okay, well, I, I I appreciate that you get that we were the east side of Hollywood
oh
type
yeah,
band, and that it was a bit darker, and it was and still is has that aesthetic to it, you know, and yeah, it's something that I've always you know thought
yeah.
was part of our thing.
Oh, yeah, I mean, there's nothing about you that was the other side of Hollywood. You guys were. We learned by taking in this like rock Bukowski kind of frolic room thing that you guys were, and taking it to other, just biting a little bit off of it. It was just like, but you're a god to us. And just how did that happen? You grew up in, where was it? Idaho or Montana? I'm trying to figure.
Yeah, well, I was born in Missoula, but my folks got a divorce, and I moved with my mom to Idaho with my brother and sister. So um, I started playing music out here. I'm in Boise at the moment,
Okay.
visiting my mom. Um, but yeah, we started playing music here when we were kids, and cover bands and whatnot. And then I started hearing uh, some stuff from LA that really, really spoke to me. You know, they were calling it the cowpunk thing back then, with like Tex and the Horseheads and X, and a band called the Gun Club, who was a
Yeah.
huge influence on me. Um, and you know, that's where this music was coming from, was Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So I was just so drawn to that, and that's where I wanted to go. To be a part of that scene. So and we did.
Yeah, no, it's so weird because I came from New Jersey, graduation night in '88, and you guys are rolling, but to come from there and be basically one of the mayors of that town, I mean, you just, I mean, and you continue to write this story that's just as good now as it was in '86 to me, but you really painted the picture of what it was. I mean, your music paints a picture of like those 1930s buildings we all had to move into. Like your video, it makes me hot just because it makes you feel like that Hollywood, dude, that Elvis in the Hollywood Western building is in your fucking video. It gave me chills with looking at that, man.
Yeah, it's a trip rolling around Hollywood. And I mean, I've got ghosts on every corner there, because we grew up in that scene, like literally, like
Yeah.
we were growing up, you know, and we were learning that what not to do and what to do, and failing, and stumbling and trying to find our way, but we knew musically where we wanted to go, you know, and the rest was just how to survive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kim Fowley once told me you move from somewhere to Hollywood, and then it gives you the story to tell in your music. That's kind of the job of the city,
It
which is
it absolutely does, and I love LA for that. I really do. You know, I a lot of it's regrettable and dark,
yeah,
but nothing. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take any of it back.
yeah,
You know, because it's made that story what it is, and the people that I respected as like songwriters and bands from that time, you know, it falls in line with what I wanted the band to be, so.
and how do you? Most people, the fire goes out. They start writing shitty music, uninspired music, man. I was listening to Cactusville, and it's if not more inspired than the first album. What is your secret to keeping? It's like that Springsteen Tom Petty thing where the fire doesn't go out. It's a continuous line of this story you're telling.
I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say.
True.
It's I've purposely tried to stay as like musically, this sounds really awful, but musically kind of uh ignorant and simple as possible, and not to be too influenced by like a lot of other stuff except for what's coming from within.
Yeah.
So I just, I just I don't try and learn any fancy modulations, or I don't know anything about that. I know the basic chords and I know what sounds good to me. And as far as lyrics go, it's just, it's mostly based on what has happened to us, or what we'd like to happen to us. It's just or just a vision of the city, or a vision of a day in the city, or
Yeah.
things like that. So
Wow.
it's not even anything conscious. It's just the only thing we really know. And that's, I don't know if that makes any sense.
Completely makes sense. I was
Okay.
talking with a buddy that's in a big band about Too Fast for Love and Appetite, and he goes, the reason those records are so good is and I'm not saying you're this word, but they're almost stupid. It's almost like being in your first band. The arrangements are just like, let's get loud here. It's not overly thought out. It's just like that youthful stupidity and energy that just works, man. Your first band, those riffs that you just go, fuck, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I do know what you mean. And yeah, stupidity.
No, it is, right? That's what we were talking about. He goes like those guns, like we're gonna my Michelle, dude, then we're gonna get heavy. It's like it's stupid, but it's amazing. You know what I mean?
Right. I was talking with we just did a show in Tucson with Kid Congo.
Okay.
From the Cramps,
Yeah.
and from Gun Club, and he played with Nick Cave for a while, and we were talking about slide guitar, and he's going, I have no idea how to play slide guitar. And I go, that's what makes it so fucking great.
Yeah.
And when we started incorporating slide guitar, my original guitar player said, I don't know how to play slide. And I go, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
If it's just a single string slide, that, that's great. And now to Jimmy James, who's been with the band for a lot of years, on and off. But he's such a soulful, simple player, really from the heart.
He's so fucking good. I just saw him a few weeks ago, and just so fucking amazing, man. Just like you say, just the thing. He's it.
Yeah, he's got it. Whatever that is.
Whatever that is.
What that is.
Well, you have it. It's that thing. It's just that thing. It's, you know what I mean? That a lot of, I don't know, no, but it's that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
you would write this type of riff. I don't know what it is, man, from obviously Rotten Sunday, which is like as iconic as Teen Spirit to me. We know that's been ripped off by every Hollywood, Los Angeles band, to the riffs on Cactusville. How do you come up with those riffs, man? They're just fucking perfect and mean.
Well, again, thank you. I really appreciate that. They're just noodling around, watching TV, and when something pops in there that sounds like something that, sounds like anything to me, I latch onto it, and I'll wrestle it until, till the end. It took me forever to write, Rotten Sunday. I remember how long it took me to write that. The riff was there.
Okay.
But I couldn't let go. I go, that this riff is so good that there's got to be something equally as good to, support the rest of it. So, and the same with
Cactusville.
Yeah, Cactusville was the same way. It was the idea of the story of going to Tucson for the first time for the Hangmen and all the misadventures that we had there. Every line in that is the truth, of what happened to us. So
it's so fucking honest. Yeah, I love Cactusville. And obviously Rotten Sunday, come on, it's just that's everything. But yeah, there's just something about the way you play and the stories you tell that just so authentic. It was funny. I was on your page the other day, and I saw your drummer carrying the someone's Marshall, and he was all fucked up and how he was standing.
Yeah.
And I was with a bunch of guys who go, this isn't the most rock and roll picture. That is the most rock and roll picture. That says everything from the fucking mini mall to the sky. I'm like, that is fucking art right there. That says everything about a band.
That's awesome. I hope you got to see some of Jimmy James's fun facts from the road. Did you?
I didn't. Does he have them up there? I'll go look at them.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
Tell me about them. We'll have everybody visit them. What are they?
Well, Jimmy's just so brilliant, and he's a comedian, and he just comes up with these like crazy stories that, fun facts with Jimmy James, and he'll just make up a year, and we'll be standing in front of a Pilot gas station, and he'll tell us the whole history of how the Pilot gas station came into existence, and it's all just bullshit. But
he just riffs on it. That's great.
Yeah, he just riffs on it, and it's fucking so funny, man. We have a good time.
How good is Pilot? Pilot's it's like the Beverly Hills of rest stops, man.
Yeah. But it's Pilot. It's whatever.
Yeah.
He just goes off on it. It's pretty funny.
I think comedy's a big part of being in a band and making the band work. A-level fucking comedy has a lot to do with getting through the, survival of a band.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, because we're still in the trenches.
Yeah.
Nothing is being handed to us, and we got to go get whatever we can get, and make it to, the next show, and, try and keep our sanity, and, but we love what we do. But, the road is the road, and it could be hard sometimes, a lot of the times, especially at, a level where we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's a real commitment.
Yeah.
It's not a joke,
No.
but we make it a joke. It's got to be fun. We got to have some levity in getting from one place to another. Otherwise we'll go nuts,
Yeah.
So.
And you're going overseas pretty soon, right? Are you going over? That's awesome.
Yeah. So we've got, we'll be over there. I think we leave on the 13th, and we'll be over there for a month. And this this tour has been canceled and rescheduled a couple times. So, you know, with the protocols and all the COVID stuff, they're working it out, and things so far are green lit, you know.
Right.
And so we're just adding shows right now and gonna make the best of it. We've got this rock plus thing that we were asked to do, you know, and we're not gonna not do it, you know. We got to do it. So
where do you find it? And I get it, because I'm a lifer with music. Where do you think you find the thing to just keep rolling on, and just the dream evolves, right? The dream changes. The whole scheme of the whole thing changes as you get older.
Well, the dream basically is the same, and that's just to write songs and to play these songs, you know. And my I think we've got something to say, and I think that we're still very we're a valid entity, you know, musically. So yeah. You know, it's what keeps me going, you know. There's no choice. There's a choice, but there is no choice. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
it's so inspired, dude. You know what uninspired music sounds like, and the record. I'm just going on that. I obviously I went on Spotify, and the first record wasn't on there, so obviously I have that. I had to go get my CD. So I was like, I'm gonna go the newest record, Cactusville. I just couldn't believe how inspired sounding it is. You know,
well,
you know, it's amazing.
It's kind of a record that I've always wanted to do, incorporating. We've always kind of had a little bit of slower songs once in a while mixed in, but I wanted to do something that really, in the slower, more country stuff, we can add, you know, different, you know, more piano, more backing vocals, more pedal steel, you know, stuff like this, and strings and things that I felt would work well with these songs, the slower songs, you know. So we did a side A of more of the hard rock stuff, and then the side B of more of the slower country stuff, you know. And I didn't know how that was if it was gonna work or not, you know. And it was kind of scary to do, actually, just like, well, is this a big mistake? But, you know, after hearing the whole thing together, you know, I thought it worked real well. And
totally,
you know, I'm proud of the song. So, you know,
and it makes total sense. And that's weird, because sometimes slow songs are the best songs, but live it's hard to keep people pulled in. So there's only, you know, how many do you add into the set, and you know they're your best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that it's tricky. You know, that's why I kind of had the Best Western players on that, which is additional musicians. And we did shows as Best Western, you know, just doing the slower stuff.
Yeah.
You know, completely, you know, it's all Hangmen stuff, but it kind of gave me an alter ego, you know, to say, I don't need to do like a rock show. I can just do a quieter country thing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed that, you know.
It's so cool. Was there a Nobody Girl? There was some song I was flipping on. Nobody, I think, was in the title.
Yeah, Nobody's Girl.
Yeah, that was amazing, man.
Oh, thank you.
And can people, is that on vinyl? Can people get it on vinyl? Is that available?
Yeah, they can. They have to go to acetate.com. That's our label. Okay. You know, it's a label that we share with, you know, the Super Suckers and Junkyard and, you know, some other bands. So.
Yeah, because it just seems like a record you would want to have as a record. I'm listening to it. It seems like it'd be something you physically want to hold and touch and look at.
Yeah, and it came out on, you know, green vinyl, and it looks really cool and it sounds good. You know, so man, I'm pretty proud of that.
Man, are you working on any new? I mean, I'm sure you're always working on new music. I'm sure there's always new things brewing.
Well, yeah, we recorded like 4 new songs, and we did 2 of them with this producer Rob Schnoff, who did the last X record.
Okay.
And we just went in for a day. I thought the X record sounded amazing, and Rob's got an amazing resume, and turns out he was a fan of the band. So we just went in there and knocked out 2 songs, and one of the songs is a kind of a song I wrote about Montrose Heathman and his passing.
Right.
Ron from the Super Suckers, and
Yeah.
he was in the Hangmen for the East of Western record. So we knocked those out real quick, those 2 songs, and then I had a couple more just shortly after I moved to Montana. Then I flew back down to LA and we recorded a couple more. So there's some singles or a small EP, or maybe it's going to be part of an album. I don't know, but that's what we've got right now. So
Love it, man. It's just such a story you've told, man. And speaking of the story, I was thinking of this. It's so irrelevant, but where did you guys rehearse when you were doing the first record in Hollywood? Because that had so much to do with about a band. Where they rehearsed. Where'd you guys rehearse?
Oh shit. During that time, we were probably at Holy Gully over in Frogtown. Do you know where Frogtown is?
I don't. I probably do, but I don't.
It is kind of towards Highland Park.
Okay.
You know where?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of, it's East LA-ish.
You guys are really dug in East LA. Wow.
Yeah, but a lot of bands rehearsed there that were our contemporary, or that we were fans of, or that were coming up at clubs like Raji's and stuff.
Yeah.
The Divine Horsemen used to rehearse there, and Top Jimmy and the Rhythm Pigs, and
Wow.
bands like that. Like maybe Thelonious Monster did, or X.
Yeah. What pushed you? Because of all those bands, and I remember seeing them, and I just feel like your songs were always top notch, along with that sound. But what pushed you to have such good songs, man? Well, how the songs are all A-level songs that you remember. You know what I mean?
Man, that's tough, because I appreciate those kind words.
It was just like you and Concrete Blonde, 2 of the bands from that side. Like, these are just really good fucking songs, along with all the darkness, which is hard to do.
I just did not want to put anything out that I didn't like, couldn't stand behind, and that's, I still feel pretty strong about most of our material. There's a song here and there that I thought maybe, but as you put out a record and you're with a label, whether it's a big label or a small label, we need one more song, just to fill out. I hated that. Always hated the notion of, just put something, we'll put out a little thing on a, do a split with somebody, just a throwaway. No, man, no throwaways.
I love it.
I'm not. Why? It's just, never made any sense to me.
That makes sense. That it didn't make. Aerosmith, I heard, had no leftovers for any of those records. There's not really a lot of leftovers on their
early
career. Like 5 set, they tapped out. This is where we're tapping out and giving you. That's why you don't hear a lot of B-sides or anything with them. That was it.
Yeah.
They'd even have to cover something to just finish the record.
Yeah. Well, we like to do covers once in a while, and we did recently do a Creedence cover as one of those 4 songs. So.
Oh, what song did you do?
Sinister Purpose.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How mean is his voice? Like you guys have a Creedence, that same thing. It's just Creedence were so dark and mean.
I always felt kindred spirits with their darker stuff. You know, it just spoke to me. You know, like Gun Club and some of these other bands that I spoke of. You know, I don't know why this stuff struck a chord with me, but it just did. And of course I love Tom Petty, you know,
Yeah.
and
I mean, yeah, he just this. Well, there's something about you that's not you. You have that power that he has. You're telling his story, and Tom Petty, every song, the lyrics sometimes are just so mean. I mean, I love
yeah.
Springsteen. I came from New Jersey. I
Hmm.
just saw him on Broadway last week, but Tom
Wow.
Petty just has this bite and this punch where he says one line like you do that just twists you and just like, oh, I always say easy to write, hard to live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot behind what you do, man.
Yeah. I think a guy like Tom Petty, he really cared, you know, really
Yeah.
cared about, he cared about other, other songwriters and other musicians. And he didn't, he didn't want people to, you know, put out shit. They're better than that, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he would push, you know, like that Tom Petty documentary, you know, when he's working with I think he's working with uh was it Roger McGuinn or something? He was producing a record, and the A&R guy or something came in with some cheeseball song that they wanted Roger to do, and Tom's just like, what the fuck are you doing, man? This is bullshit, dude. This
Yeah.
is not a song. This guy's a legend. Don't fuck with him like this, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love the way he stood up for you know, for what he knew was right, you know, in that respect, in music, you know.
And that makes sense that you have that thing because, dude, Cactusville might be my favorite Hangman record as I listen to him. I mean, I want to take it in more and more. Obviously, I love your earlier stuff, but like Tom Petty, I think my favorite record is The Last DJ. That wasn't his last one, but it also was far from his first one,
Right, right.
you
Well,
know?
yeah.
And I guess that's the thing about your fans can take that journey with you lyrically. I feel like I understand what you're saying now. When I was a kid, those songs felt like LA. Like Motley Crue didn't feel like how I was living on Bronson Street in LA. When I got there, I'm like, wow, I like that. But this guy's like saying what it's like, just like Sunday morning comes and just that pounding head. This guy is saying
Right.
what it really is like here and what
Uh,
Franklin Street's like. It's not Sunset I'm living
yeah,
on Franklin at the Mayfair.
exactly. Wow.
It's like,
Yeah.
and that
Those are
video,
the
yeah, just
those are the neighborhoods.
goes
Yeah.
off, man.
Wow.
Man,
You
well,
grew up there too, buddy.
I did what you did. I just looked at
Yeah.
California and Three's a Company and was like, I'm the fuck out of here. I'm
Yeah.
going there. And I lived at the Hastings house above Raji's somehow with no plan, just did it. Just, you know what I mean?
Wow. I don't know anyone that lived there. Now I do.
You did. Remember that it was like
You
a
know?
weekly hotel up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know what Raji's was. We heard fucking bands downstairs, me and Jamie, like, what the fuck's going on down there? I was too young to even get in. I was 18. You know what I mean?
Wow. Wow.
But you want something more than where we were living, the smaller towns we were living in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I was drawn to LA because of the bands that were coming out of there, you know, and I wanted, you know, I was just drawn to it. I've always been drawn to California,
Me too.
you
Yeah.
know, whether it was, you know, from early on with the Doors or, you know, later with X
Yeah.
and stuff like that, you know. So,
Yeah. Do you remember what were you listening to in high school before you came out? What was your jams in high school?
uh, you know, it's a lot of Aerosmith and Rolling Stones. I mean, early on, you know, the first thing that ever caught my ear as a kid was Bob Dylan,
Yeah.
you know, and it was just like the lyrics, and you know, I didn't know what I was hearing, but I knew it was something special about it for me, you know. And then later I got into, like all the kids stuff, all the early Aerosmith and Kinks and Rolling Stones and the Trogs. I love the Trogs.
Yeah,
and some garagey stuff, Little Red Riding Hood and
Cool. So
stuff
haunting.
that I felt like I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me,
and,
man.
Credence, of course, and stuff,
I feel like I've seen your thread, and it's making sense of where this beautiful and dark music comes from you, and everything you've talked about, man. It's so cool to like, because I had no idea where it was coming from. It just seemed like the Frolic Room, fucking East Side, like Bukowski, this thing that was just perfect, man, and it still is perfect.
Well, the picture that Jeffrey from the Gun Club that he painted was just so enthralling to me, and it I don't know how to describe it, but I'm sure a lot of other people have their own thing that whether it's Patti Smith or somebody that spoke to them that said, that just painted this amazing musical picture that you just couldn't believe was happening, and a lot of people don't get the Gun Club, and that's cool, or whatever, but it was something that was just like, oh, this is it,
I love that no, I've listened on a box set, probably on the No Thanks or something. I don't know. But where should I go in with the Gun Club? Because now you've got me wanting to go in. What album do I start on with the Gun Club?
Fire of Love.
Okay.
Fire of Love. There's no other place to start.
I'm gonna go in, man.
Yeah.
That's
Just
so cool.
yeah. It was just like nothing else I'd ever heard before. Like a mixture of blues and punk and voodoo and wailing and just off-key vocal, but somehow it all worked. And slide guitars that are just,
man.
It's very, very mysterious, dark, and beautiful, all at the same time. So
it's funny as you describe it. It sounds like your band and your music, man. So we're going to give people links to all the stuff where they can hear the Hangmen, because there's certain people that have never heard this. It's brand new, man, and it must be cool to be making new fans still. It's got to be pretty cool.
Why? Yeah, I so appreciate that, that anyone, sees the value in what or sees something they can enjoy in what we're doing, or relate to,
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm not good with links and with whatnot.
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But thanks so much, and hang out so I can say goodbye to you, man.
Sure. Thank you, Brett.